This is our warm-up music. It gives me time to share the feed. All right, there we go. This is not the most professional podcast, but it's live. We do this live, so there's no net, which I like. Okay, we are live. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
You got anything in there? Yeah, we're good.
Good morning.
There we go. We are here at CannaOne in Edison, and I'm here with the famous Randy Lanier. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm exceptionally well.
Man, good. Get up on that mic if you can, or if you want to hold it. Yeah, there you go. I'm on my chair here. Man, this is great. We're at CannaOne here in Edison. You having a good time here?
Yeah, having a good time.
This is wild, man.
Went to an after party last night, and it was very good.
Nice.
A lot of great people.
Did you hit Bongholio? Did you get to hit Bongholio?
I didn't get to hit Bongholio.
It was a lot of fun last night.
The dab's doing something for my throat.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We tried to dab you out, and you let us dab you out. We'll get you someday.
I just like to burn flower.
Yeah. What's your favorite flower?
OG.
Oh, hey, check it out. We got 3 questions we want to answer you. OG Kush. Let's start out with the 3 questions we always ask everybody. So this is our theme. We're going to cut our theme music off. This is kind of. Whoop, there we go. All right, welcome to the podcast. Bongholio was actually here at the 420 Expo interviewing people, and he had 3 questions he was asking people. The first question was, when was the first time that you smoked weed? Oh, he's thinking now. Wheels are turning.
1968.
68, the year I was born.
Whoa.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. Wait a minute.
Some synergy there.
Wow. How old were you?
I was 14.
14.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Wow, that's great. Was it a joint or a bong?
It was a
A
joint.
joint, yeah.
And right after that, it was bowls of hash.
Bowls of hash.
And haven't looked back. Smoked every day I can for 53 years.
You haven't looked back. Well, you see a smoke in the back anyway, so you can't see nothing. The second question he was asking people was, what is your favorite munchie food when you're stoned that you go for? Your go-to?
Now it's probably fruit.
Fruit. What it used to be.
I don't eat a lot of chocolate.
Okay. Oh, you used to eat chocolate?
Yeah.
That was your go-to?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right on. The third question he was asking everybody is, what if you have a friend who's depressed or anxious or is down on his luck, what's some life advice that you would give to him or to anyone else that would pick him up, and just something like a life's gem that you have that you would tell someone to help him?
So we all go through struggles and hardships, and it's amazing the positivity that you learn from it. And one thing about being resilient is taking negative stuff and turning it into positives. And it's within every one of us, because what sustains us is the creator of all things. And it's an amazing trip that we're on, this journey. And we can learn from our hardships and our struggles, whether it's depression or what, that we have the capability and capacity to be the observer and witness of what we're experiencing, what we're feeling, what we're thinking. And if you take a few moments each day and really practice mindfulness, you'll see that it's okay. It's okay when the hardship comes, the negative thoughts comes, but it's not who we are. It comes like a cloud, and just let it float away, because we're not our past. We're not our future. We're just here right now. And we're blessed to be able to have the capacity and capability to be the observer of what's going on in our life.
So you have a lot of gratitude.
Gratitude is like the foundation of all of this, especially of creating an abundance in our life.
You've been through a lot. Can you tell a little of your story? What happened to you?
So, I'm a professional race car driver in the 80s, quite successful. Got caught up in a cannabis case, took it to trial, and got convicted and got given a life sentence with no parole. Took me 27 years to overcome it. I came out in 2014. I'm a free man, and I'm loving life.
So you're in jail for 27 years.
In jail, maximum security for 27 years.
Maximum security. That's
Yes.
when you're shackled up, when you even have to walk and you have.
Well, when you're on the yard, you're not shackled
Okay.
up. But when you move, it's controlled movements, 5-minute moves from rec yard to the housing unit to the chow unit. So it's very controlled movements, a lot of lockdowns, a lot of stabbings, a lot of killings, a lot of drama.
Oh man, you witnessed a lot of.
Well, in max security, it's unlike the medium and the camps here in the United States. So there's a lot of unhealthy drama that's going on with a lot of different gangs.
Wow. And I'm sure there's some spiritual people in there too that have helped.
Oh, there's great spiritual people you come across, because in situations like this, you have the time to really develop an understanding of how to grow.
Yeah. Did you have someone to talk to in prison about God and stuff? Or
Yeah, I became a yoga instructor.
okay.
Taught yoga, so had a lot of people that I've got close to. And unfortunately, sometimes in these living situations, you have to be really consciously aware of who you let in your circle.
Yeah. Wow. So you were a race car driver. You worked for NASCAR and
I was
everybody?
a race car driver, drove Indy cars, was
Indy
Rookie of the
car.
Year at the Indianapolis 500, 1986.
Come on.
Was an international champion in 1984, driving what they call Grand Touring prototypes, the most fastest exotic sports cars on the planet.
Wow. That's super cool, man. Yeah, Chris, if you have any questions, just jump in. Yeah, wow. This is so cool. So did you meet like a lot of the drivers? I'm sure you did. Like
Yeah,
Dale Earnhardt, you met?
I just had Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s podcast called Dale Earnhardt Downloads.
Yeah.
So did his podcast a couple months ago.
So cool.
And my drivers when I was driving was AJ Ford, Rick Mears,
Yeah.
Bobby Ray Hall, Tom Sneaver, Mario Andretti, Michael Andretti. So I got to know all those guys.
Wow, that's amazing. That is super cool. How was it being on the circuit? It's rough because you're always your travel day is like the next day, right?
Yeah, racing is, I love it. I got a passion for it. And to this day, I still like to get in cars and go to on track days or instruct. I was a high performance driving instructor for several years, and I'm doing a rally on the 18th, 19th, and 20th with Road and Track Magazine from Albany, New York to Lime Rock, Connecticut through the Hudson Valley.
I love the street races. It's wild. That is wild. I love how NASCAR does a little of everything now.
Yeah, I used to be a big NASCAR fan, but I kind of backed off of it. It's kind of the way they build up the chase now. It's hard to determine which team got to where it's at the last 4 races of the year.
Yeah, it's like a playoff system where you have to pretty much beat everyone who's left. Like the 8 guys that are left, you have to beat them. It's interesting. It's different. They always change rules. They change.
That's why I follow them.
Yeah, you can't keep up with it anymore. Yeah. Like I'm kind of keeping up with it now, but they'll change it again next year.
Yeah, difficult.
Well, so, man, tell me more about this struggle that they had no evidence on you, first of all.
Well,
right?
They did.
They
had a lot of witnesses. They had no physical, not one bud, not one seed of my weed ever got captured, arrested, sold to undercover. So I had what's called a dry case. So I took my case to trial, but I had witnesses that said that I conspired with them to sell them weed. So because it's a Schedule I narcotic, unfortunately, it carries a life sentence if you do over 1,000 pounds.
A life sentence.
Yeah, life sentence. Actually, in my case in the 80s, it was a conspiracy. My conspiracy charge was just distribution of 1,000 pounds or more, and that carried 40 years. I got 40 years for that. My count 1 charge was a criminal enterprise with 5 or more people with distributing a Schedule I narcotic, marijuana.
Now, was that a federal charge or was it a state charge?
All federal charges.
All federal charges. Yeah.
So I had life with no parole and 40 years and a 5-year tax charge.
Are you going to get pardoned? Does that include like your sentence?
So the pardons that you just heard about?
Yeah. How does that work?
Does nothing for the federal prisoners. There's not one federal prisoner that's going to walk out the door because of what Biden signed a week ago. It does bring to the table conversation, and that's about what it does. Other than some people that are currently out, I'm grateful that he did bring it to the table, and he does make it for a conversation. And I'm happy and grateful that the people who are out, who's getting pardons, can vote and do get the government housing or whatever that they can get from the government, because now it's not on their record. But it does not help one federal prisoner. We still have tens of thousands of people in jail, in federal prison, and in state prisons for possession with intent to distribute. And that wording right there gets people 50 years, 60 years, 20 years. I have people that are in Mississippi that are in for more than 5 kilos. I think he had 8 kilos, and he got 30 years in prison. So hopefully the state of Mississippi will follow President's urging to release these people, because he got pulled over and he had 5 keys in his back of his.
How did you get busted? What state were you in?
I got indicted out of Illinois. I live in Florida, and they said some of my merchandise went to the state of Illinois. I had never been to Illinois at that time in my life.
My main question for you is, how was the transitioning period? Like, being, incarcerated for that long and then coming out to what is now a new cannabis industry. I believe 40 states at least have medical, or a little bit less. The majority is towards, legalization. How was that? How did you? I can't, like, myself. I wasn't in your position, but I can't process how it would be you being incarcerated for that long and then coming out and seeing all this cannabis stuff being bought out.
Yeah. So really gratifying to come out and see how cannabis industry has evolved. When I was in it in the 70s and 80s, you couldn't talk about it, and you really had to be careful, keeping yourself low key about it. And now it's in 37 states in one form or another, legal, and it's making headways because of education. And for me to come out here for my first 5 years, I worked in substance abuse, helping Afghanistan veterans that are coming back from Afghanistan with substance abuse issues. So I did 5 years of meditating, teaching these people, mentoring these guys on the beach. And that was really rewarding. And so that helped me, myself, in getting a job that worked with such men that really committed a lot for this country, and to come back and get involved with substance abuse. That helped me. Now I'm in the cannabis industry for about a year and a half, back again doing brand ambassador work. I'm dropping a brand at MJBiz called Blue Thunder. I just got a social equity license here in the state of New Jersey.
Nice.
So I'm working on, I got a social equity license for cultivation.
What town?
Well, it looks like Eatontown.
Eatontown.
Yes.
Right on.
Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank
for you.
Yeah. No, I just, like, God is blessing me over and over again.
He
and
has to at this point.
it
After all
comes,
you've been through.
It comes from, a lot of times we have to go through certain struggles and hardships to get to where we are, to where we should be.
Wow. Amazing. Jeez. Hi, Shell. Do you have any questions? Because I might be missing some stuff here. Do you have any questions that I should be asking? Because I want you to talk about your book also. You have a book that you're writing. You wrote.
So, and since I've been out, I just dropped a book August the 2nd called Survival of the Fastest. It became a #1 bestseller on Amazon in 4 days, the first 4 days. And
Amazing.
I've been blessed. I just sold the rights of it for a full feature film.
Yeah, we're taking a poll on who's going to play Randy as a young race car driver. We're going to take options. I think we need to do that out at Freedom Grow, going who should play Randy. We need a younger Brad Pitt though. Somebody actually really like.
Need an unknown.
Yeah, right. A new guy,
I knew someone new.
someone who's going to come hot onto the scene after playing Randy Lanier, the race car driver.
Your breakout role is Randy Lanier. Come on.
That would
Come
be
on,
the
how cool is
most
that?
awesome thing. But this man is like one of my heroes. These guys
I
come
know.
out. I've written these guys. I didn't write Randy got out the year that I was doing 2014. You remember I was arrested that year, and that's what really got me started on working with Freedom Grow and doing for these prisoners and meeting all these people and talking on your podcast because I've come out here a couple times. But Randy, oh my God, his story of adventure and like all the stuff, how much weight was on those ships you said in those compartments? What was the number of weight?
Kilos? The
How
kilo.
much was it?
My loads, I'd bring in 165 to 100,000 pounds.
170,000. What'd you say? You said 1,000?
Yes.
Did I hear 1,000? So all those people talking about simple possession. Guess what? Not one of you got an eighth or a joint to smoke. If this man hadn't brought in 170,000,
Smoke some of your weed.
we
Absolutely.
probably did up and down the East Coast. We at some point had just some of the man's. He was the one. He was bringing our medicine in
Thank you.
well before the time that medicine was allowed. That's what we have with all our cannabis prisoners who've been doing these 20, 30 years.
I
The
can't
guy's got
believe the
life.
time that
This
he
is-
did
yes.
and the gratitude that he has. I mean, he
Oh,
obviously,
that's the biggest. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
God's blessing him now. But those 27 years must have been tough, man. I mean, you had to have almost given up a few
when
times.
situations in our lives become struggles and we're experiencing negativity in our life, we all have gifts within us, is inside us, and we all have the capability and capacity to change the way what we're experiencing. If you're experiencing something that you're not happy with and it's negative, you have the capability to changing that experience. It's really simple. Changing the way you perceive something changes your experience. Our perception creates our experience.
Yeah, that's true.
It does, and you have to understand, like you were in those situations, what they're coming from. You were a counselor for so many people, and you learn about their backgrounds and where they came from, and their anger, and why they acted out, and why things were reacting to you in all those years. You had to.
So my last 9 years, I was a suicide companion. I sat with men for 4 hours a day, hundreds of men for 9 years, and some of them would talk to me about their stories and stuff. But it taught me a lot that empathy is the highest form of knowledge. And when you start living with that, your gratitude comes about, and gratitude is that foundation of abundance.
Amen. Amen on that, Randy. Amen. But oh my God. So Randy's got this new thing in New Jersey. You guys went totally all out on this legalization, adult use stuff.
Who's this we?
I'm honestly looking at you left because you're literally the guy who's gone around to every single township meeting, every single police station, with Bongholio in tow, and making a scene, playing a ukulele. If it wasn't you guys, 10 years of groundwork going around to all these places and being in front of the thing, Jersey wouldn't be where it is. Okay.
They wanted to arrest
honestly,
us.
for you and Ken and all the guys that you've had on your podcast all the years have laid the foundation for this man to get his social equity grow right in New Jersey. So I'm looking at two of my heroes. I'm sorry.
They can never make him whole again. They can never make him whole again after all they're taking from him, though. I mean, they can do a lot for him.
Honestly, he'll tell you right now they didn't take anything from him. Look at him.
He's
he
very
was
positive,
and
but
all his other thing.
I'm just mad at the government for doing this to you and to other people. That it's a shame that they're still doing it.
It's a shame that it's still going on.
They arrested a guy in Hackensack for growing weed.
Yeah. So we have a nonprofit organization called freedomgrow.org. If you don't know what it is, look it up. We help cannabis prisoners and their families. None of us take a salary. It's all through the wonderful heart of our citizens that donate. We do events and we spread the message and help educate that there's thousands of people still in prison
Yeah.
for small amounts of marijuana. It doesn't have to be a large load like I was doing. There's people that's in there for a kilo.
Oh,
a
no, there's
pound.
not even that.
And-
I had state prisoners in Louisiana. We had a lifer in Louisiana who was
What
being
else?
friendly to a homeless. He was a hut set up
Was
for a joint.
right? Yes.
One joint bought him a life sentence. So these states are going to hopefully follow Biden's advice that it didn't release any of our prisoners with the simple possession. But if the state governors follow that, we're going to get some people out, because anybody under an ounce that may be sitting in jail needs to come out now. And we're going to work on that, and we're going to push it. I'll be in front of the White House October 24th. We're doing a big rally with Last Prisoners Project, a bunch of other groups, and I will be out there with posters telling Biden, yes, we got the first step from you. Now let's keep going. We don't need anybody. Your promise was to release all of our federally held cannabis prisoners. So let's keep that
He said
promise.
federal, right? Did he say
Yes,
federal?
federally held. He's only in charge of federal. He can't make the state governors do anything.
He can't.
Well,
No, he can only be in charge of the federal prisons. But right now I have 173,
I think 178.
something, just a
Wow.
little under 180 names with numbers that he could release
All
immediately,
nonviolent.
with full pardons, with no ankle bracelets, no drug testing, no nothing, because that is what should happen.
What's a shame is that once you get caught with a gun and cannabis, too, there's a gun
Yeah,
involved.
weapons change everything.
But it shouldn't, because
shouldn't.
we're Americans who have the right to hunt and
Yeah.
the right to do everything. A possession of a gun in Montana and having
Right.
weed should not make it a difference for you to whatever. Okay, a lot of people, there were no illegal. We're not talking illegal weapons on any of our prisoners. We're not talking about any of them having any illegal weapons. Everyone was a lawful American who would participated in the marijuana industry. That's all they were.
I'm a medical cannabis patient, and I can't get a gun because of that.
Yeah, I definitely have my
And
card.
I've talked to the NRA
You have a
about that.
card?
Yeah,
I've talked to the NRA about that, actually. I've like,
too.
why has
They
the
don't care.
NRA not stood up for our rights?
They don't care.
You'll stand up for a blind person's right to have a gun. You'll stand up for anyone else's right to have a gun, but why won't you stand up for the right for medically used patients to
There's still a
have
stigma out there. Even in my church, there's a
huge.
stigma.
Unfortunately, I just developed. There's a stigma here for the cannabis community. Really clear.
What?
Yes, a lot of times we get people who are in the industry who say, "Well, they should have waited till it was legal." But this man, I couldn't wait till it was legal. Patients couldn't wait till it was legal. People were dying, and the only thing that made any difference was people were willing to stand up and do that, and do the things that it took. Like, you're willing to go to the police stations and be there and say, "Go ahead, arrest me for this. I'm going to consume my cannabis. I'm within my rights. I'm doing this." You were in front of the State House. You brought us medicine up and down the East Coast because people needed it. And for the hypocrisy of anyone to say, "Well, that's like a lot of weed," which I hate to say, Wendy, I can't even, like, my mind is boggled when
Yeah.
I hear. Oh, I still can't even see the 100 and what? 100?
It's like,
I like
it's like as big as this room in the
mine
corner.
about 100 and what now?
It's a shipload.
165,000.
165,000. Okay, but this now you got to do the math. You're going to spread it across the East Coast. That only really amounts to like an 8 for each of us, not even, or a couple joints
Well,
for
I
some
brought
of
it
us.
into the East Coast and the
Yeah, and it
and
went
West
for-
Coast too. So,
Right.
but I was smoking weed and not even knowing it was medicine. So a lot of people to this day that don't indulge, they don't have an understanding of being educated that this is medicine. When I was a kid smoking it, I didn't realize it was medicine. I just know it made me feel
I
better.
hate to say, Randy, I go on beyond being medicine. I consider THC and CBD cannabinoids to be a vitamin. That without this vitamin, that I consider it to be, like vitamin A, you need that for you get a
Yeah.
disease. Vitamin C, you get what rickets, scurvy, D, all those things. You get a specific disease. You don't have THC, CBD cannabinoids in your diet through the food system, food chain. Guess what? We started developing more Alzheimer's. We developed more ALS. We developed more MS. We developed more children having seizures. So I don't consider it to be anything more than a vitamin
I think
that is necessary for the human being to develop. So when I say medicine, I honestly mean something that's so ingrained in our system that you were providing for us, that to save us from insanity, honestly, in my opinion. Yeah.
I think the plant helps create balance in our life, and you can call it vitamins or medicine or whatever, but it definitely helps create a homeostasis effect that helps create balance in our life.
You got some questions?
Yeah, no. It was just a point when you said 165,000 pounds or whatever, and how it wouldn't supply the whole East Coast. The number one thing that is RSO. It takes a lot of flour just to make RSO to make
medicine
fully
for
extracted-
cancer
yes.
patients. That's the stuff that actually goes in and kills those cancer cells.
Yeah, and even for pain for me, when I had
Right.
I was actually in a car accident. I was ejected and I shattered my pelvis, ripped my urethra.
So, like, if you're going down to make RSO, you'd need at least a good pounds. 10?
I think it's a pound for for a month supply, maybe a month and a half supply, maybe.
So really, that's not that much. When they would say, "Oh my gosh, he has so much," but if you were actually supplying it for cancer patients, bringing it down to medicine for cancer patients,
Yeah, and even for pain, I used it for pain. When
Yeah.
they attached my urethra,
right?
I used it for pain. I
You're
used no
really
opioids.
not talking that many people. So you're talking as far as that's a simple possession charge, sir.
At the time I was bringing it in, I wasn't bringing it in for medicine. I was bringing it in for profit. It was a business for me. I was financing my racing career, and I just want to keep it real. Everybody loved it. The supply, I could give the supply, and the demand was there, and it helped me establish a way to do my finances with my racing career.
Patients were benefiting from it.
But the benefits of it was people were benefiting all around the United States from it.
Yeah, you were healing people, even though you were doing
I
it
didn't
for
even know
your motives, whatever your motives were. You came out with good results on the other end, and that's the thing. You weren't out there smuggling heroin where people are going out there getting addicted and stuff like that. I could never see you as a person, the person I've met, ever being involved in that kind of drug trade.
The racing industry, do they still test for cannabis?
Yes,
They still do.
I'm not in the racing circuit, but I think they still drop urine for drivers.
They stopped for the NFL. They stopped doing it for the NBA
Okay,
and
I'll
UFC.
get back with you and I'll get an answer on that.
I'd like to know if they still test
Well,
the NASCAR and IndyCar.
Well, that's a motor vehicle, so I guess if you have to have a limit, like it's driving while you're in alcohol, it would be the same. So there would have to be some sort of like impairment test for insurance purposes and that. What kind of car are you going to be test driving? You said you're going to be driving some cars coming up. Where is that?
I'm driving in a rally from Albany, New York to Lime Rock, Connecticut for Road and Track Magazine, October 18th, 20th in an Audi R4.
Can we watch this on TV?
Road and Track Magazine, he said.
I don't think it's.
Is it going to be covered?
TV.
No, it's okay. It's on the magazine. I want to watch this
For 25 special cars.
Oh man!
All the
Is there live spectating?
go to Hudson Quad Central and you'll find all the details.
HudsonQuadCentral.com.
Oh my
Look-
God!
Jeff.
It's a trip to Valley.
Oh, yeah, let's-
25 special cars that Road and Track Magazine has picked out.
So he's a busy man.
I
He's coming
know.
from here, and then you have another podcast to do in
Oh,
New
yeah.
York.
You're going to the city.
Doing a podcast in New York City on the 17th called Barstool Sports.
Yeah. Barstool Sports.
Barstool Sports, and then you're going to go test drive one of these 25
Well,
cars.
I'm not test driving. I'm doing
You're
a
actually
rally.
driving
Doing
it,
a
not
rally
test
from
driving.
We're done
Albany,
testing.
New York
No
to
testing.
the Lime Rock. It's 450 miles.
And you're going to go balls to the wall. You're
No, it's
No.
it's easy driving. It's
Oh, okay,
a rally
okay.
drive through the valley,
Okay.
the Hudson Valley.
Oh, right on.
Oh, that's nice. And then after that, you're flying right out to the golf
From
tournament.
there, I go to LA and do another podcast called First Smoke of the Day. And then from First Smoke of the Day, I do a golf and celebrity
We're doing
charity
a
event
poker
called
and golf celebrity.
and poker, a celebrity charity event with Whoopi Goldberg and Derek Fisher called Bella Flora.
Wow.
Yeah, Bella Flores that's 2 days. And then to do another festival back towards your home state in Florida,
Then
right?
I'm out to Colorado first for about a week, and then I go back to Florida to do Mount Dora
Wow.
cannabis event.
When do you see your house?
About the first week in November.
Gotta feed your goldfish at some point, right?
Well, it's been an adventure.
My
You've
dogs.
Oh my goodness! I hope somebody's taking care of them. But you're so amazing and but so busy and doing all this stuff. And speaking of, and like I said, as volunteer, he's doing all this
Thank
just
you,
for
Randy.
the love of it and doing his book. He's actually got a book going out, and you can buy it now.
Yeah. How do we get your book?
So the book's available at Barnes & Noble, Survival of the Fastest. It's also on Amazon.com.
Right on. Randy, thank you for spending a
Thank you,
few moments
guys.
with us. Really appreciate it, man. You're the best.
All right, thank you, guys.
God bless you, man.
Thank you.
All right. You know I've been on your show so many times, and I tell these stories, but nothing beats it like meeting these guys and meeting them after they've gotten out and what they've done. And we're actually going to have George. What I can't make his name right. George Monterano, who is a Philadelphian. And he is one of our ex prisoners. So he is a Philadelphian, and he would love to come on and tell you stories. And I hate to say, I think Randy's losing his voice from all the talking he's been doing.
I'm glad we caught him before he lost it.
Yeah, he's got to go up and do another thing. But
so
George is
amazing.
going to be here in a little bit, and you get these two guys together.
Yeah,
They'll
let's
tell you
do it.
prison stories that you don't even want to. Honestly, sometimes you just don't even want to hear the prison stories. But we do a close meeting. It's Freedom Grow. I don't know. Clubhouse is an app where we can like Zoom and things, but we use it for meetings, and you can invite anybody in, and you can replay our shows. We had one with a guy who had been in 33 years, and he had only been out 3 weeks when he got on with us. Amazing. The emotions in the room, we were all crying. It's just so special with them. And the one thing I have to say about writing all these cannabis prisoners all these years, they are positive than I am half the time. I have to work on positivity to come up to the level that they are. Their spirits from being in that place, 8 years in solitary confinement with no way to see light or anything, just a little window. All those years to be with what you are. It's amazing, and it's more than I could even imagine. Every day I say to myself, thank God, no matter what I go through, I am free. I'm out here. I'm doing what I want. And I remember each time I smoke that I'm smoking for them, with them in spirit. I go everywhere with that. So that's all of us. And we're going to be keeping things real out here at our event here at the Expo Center in New Jersey. Come sign letters to the president. Come and join us. And we're doing right now, Freedom Grow is doing our fundraiser for school drive. We support the cannabis prisoners and their families. So we're sending all the children gift certificates and actually gift cards from Walmart so that they can go and get school supplies. So that's our fundraiser right now. If you wanted to go on to Freedom Grow and donate, all that money will be going to the prisoners' children's for their school drive. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Shell, this is Jenna.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Jenna, you're with the New Jersey Cannabis Association. Is that what it is? Right on. Yeah, you can use the yellow one. Yeah, just hold it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. I just came to say hi. I saw you, and I didn't want to interrupt.
That's fine. No, we just had Randy Lanier on.
Oh, nice.
27 years in prison he spent for weed.
Oh, my goodness.
He had a life sentence.
That's ridiculous.
A life sentence. Oh. And
I can't even imagine.
I can't. The strength, the inner strength, he just, man.
Those people are very resilient, It takes a lot.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. I had a friend who was in there for like 6 years on cannabis charges.
On a cannabis charge.
On a cannabis charge. He had 2 ounces on him.
That's it?
Yeah.
In New Jersey?
Yep.
What town?
North Bergen. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Intent to distribute, probably, right? And
yes.
That's why they give you the
well,
extra
because
time.
he also had baggies on him.
Right.
So it was just, but he went into prison, and when he got in there, 2 things happened to him. One, he bulked up he got huge.
He got in shape.
And the second was he became really religious, and it was funny because he wasn't a religious person before, and he came out so much smarter too because he learned so much in there. He was studying a lot, and I said, what made you do that? And he goes, there was just a lot that I wanted to know prior, and I had nothing else to do, so I thought I'd make the best of it. And it's funny because you think of people in those situations. I don't think I could ever make the best of that. I really, really respect it.
Yes, me too.
You know?
I'm not that strong.
No, me
Pretty
neither.
tough, but no.
Same.
Oh man.
I was very excited to see Bong Julio, by the way.
He's so happy. So happy last night. He was here last night, Bong Julio. He was in the Bong, went to the after party.
Oh.
And he was just dabbing people out left and right. It was just the greatest thing ever.
That must have been great.
And then one of the girls crawled inside and like stood inside of him. Like, here, I'll show you. I couldn't believe this happened. I've seen a lot with this Bong. I've never seen him do that before.
That's hysterical.
He was doing pull-ups too. See the pull-ups? He was doing
Oh
pull-ups.
my God. I can't do a pull-up.
He was doing pull-ups.
So go ahead.
Wait, look at this one. Look at this. She gets inside. She crawls on the top of him. I'll share this video with you all later. This is nuts. If you haven't seen it, it's on Instagram. She gets in there, and she's actually an acrobat. Apparently, I didn't know this.
Looks like it.
Yeah, she. God, what are you doing?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she's up there, and she takes off her badge, so she's like one-handed for a second. She really went for it.
Oh crap!
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, badge off, girl. Go
Badge
ahead.
off, glasses off. Here we go. Now she's all in.
She's serious
Look
now.
at it. And then she just walks around with him, and I think they're getting married now.
That is so awesome.
I think they're dating. I really think they just fell in love.
After this.
Yeah, I mean, how do you not fall in love after this?
Right.
Look at that.
Get an acrobat to crawl inside your bong. That'll do it.
She's really into him.
That'll do it.
Get it?
She's
really into him. Get it?
I brought you a treat over. I just had to go through my bag to grab it for you.
Brad. Oh, what's that?
Some gummies.
Ooh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Apple. Oh. Can I eat it now?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I can definitely.
I saw you earlier, and my mom had texted me. She goes, anything good? So I said, there's a couple things. She goes, grab me something. And then, of course, my dad. So I said, you know what? Let me grab something for Lefty because I was over at the table.
Whoa.
Did it taste good?
That was a pina colada.
Oh, okay.
Right off the bat, pina colada.
If you like pina colada.
I love pina
Can
colada.
I get a beat?
Oh, my God. Okay, what's next? I got pina colada.
Green.
Green one? I bet it's apple.
Green apple.
Might be apple.
It's so funny because every time they make apple flavors, it's always green. What about the red apples?
Yeah, it's definitely apple. Fantastic.
Pretty good, right?
So what are you doing here today?
So I'm waiting for Ed actually right now. He's going to be speaking later on. He's doing the keynote, so I'm very excited for him.
That's at 11?
I believe 11,
11, I think so.
And I've been much going around meeting people, inviting people to Cannabis Connection, which coming up on the 27th. So we're excited about that. So there's a lot going on.
And what's that?
So Cannabis Connection is going to be an event that we're hosting at Galloping Hill, the golf course. It's not a golf event. It is a cannabis event. So we are in the first half of the day going to be doing, it's like speed dating setup. So cultivators, retailers, manufacturers, all speed dating with each other to help each other's businesses grow and flourish.
Wait a minute. That's brilliant. So it's not really dating. Well, it could be dating.
It could be.
But it's more like a B2B.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And then in the afternoon, the evening, it's going to be just a networking event where everyone is welcome. So ancillary businesses as well. And everyone can kind of meet each other, have hors d'oeuvres, drink, hang out. So it's going to be really cool. Yeah.
How do we sign up for that?
So you could go to NewJerseyCannabusiness.com, click on events, and it'll be under the events section.
Right on.
Yeah. It's going to be really cool. But I just wanted to come over and say hi to you, bring you a little treat, and say hi to Bong Julio, of course.
Hi.
So thank you for having me, as always.
We're off the air now. We're going to go and dab now. So
Good for you, man. It was good seeing
Great
you.
to see you. All right. So thank you all for tuning in. And we'll be back on live in a little while. We'll have a bunch of guests all day long. We'll be going on live to talk to people, and here we go. Now, unless someone wants to jump in now, I see Chris is working the crowd. Any more interviews, Chris? No, we're gonna go off the air for a while. I'm gonna go dab. I'm gonna eat these gummies too. So, hi Lance, how you doing, buddy? Lance is our one viewer today. Hey, if you tuned in for that, that was amazing. Randy Lanier was just on our podcast. Randy Lanier. I mean, wow, that's amazing. So, okay, we'll be back on. I'm gonna go get some coffee and some cannabis, and we'll be back on. All right. Hashtag they shall grow. Hashtag Jeff's Law. They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning we will remember them.